Looks like we're live. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. How we doing? We up a little early today. I came out of classroom a little bit early, so we are up and running here today, seeing what we can see. No, I don't want the slides. Trying to share my screen. Okay. There we go. What's going on this morning? Ooh, okay. Got sidetracked by a YouTube video. Woman bought all these groceries for $8. That's the kind of stuff that catch your attention. Like, well, what did you do? Groceries for $8. What did you do? Happy Hump Day, Royal Diadem. Hey, Miss Barbara. Hey, Sizzling. And Hook Kiki. I'm assuming that's who you are. What y'all think about ROI, risk on internet? I'm not sure what even that is. I don't know what risk on international even is, so I don't think about it because I don't know what it is. Okay, this is SPX 500 that's going on at this point. I wanted to look to see what did the earnings and stuff look like yesterday, but let's go look at the VIX, some other pre-market things before we go there, okay? The VIX is at 13.24 at this point. 13.24 is the VIX. Yahoo Finance. It says what to expect from the Fed today. Don't forget the Fed meeting. We'll talk about in a minute. It's going to be at 2:00 this afternoon, and then 2:30 is the report out or whatever. Paramount skyrockets on Byron Allen's $14 billion buyout report. Ooh, Boeing suspends guidance amid 737 Max fallout. Yeah, Boeing's like we don't know what's going to do next. Boeing earnings, ADP data, Fed decisions. How Microsoft is in the pole position for next generation AI PCs. What I saw though was that AMD didn't necessarily do all that great for earnings. Let's see what we came up with. I wanted to show where we are. It's in the pre-market. It's at 165. Right? They had earnings. Today is Wednesday, right? The days are running together. Let me see, 15 minutes. This is what it's not down a whole lot. Looks like it seems to be climbing back up. If you look at it, earnings, it fell off from 171.99. Hey, Tamar. And it's currently at 165. So we're about $6 below the close of yesterday. So it did drop to the low of 159 and now it's climbing back up. Y'all see my Bollinger Bands, all this volatility, and then now it's trying to climb back up. Listen, the things like these AMD, NVIDIA, these guys, though they've hit their long-term highs, they will continue to recover because these are key significant things that we need in order to move this AI bus continue down the road. We need these guys. So the people are going to continue to invest in the areas where there is need and use. AMD, NVIDIA, SOXL, which covers a lot of that, SMCI, just people are going to continue to invest in these things. That's where I was going with that. Okay. Our pre-market is mostly red, with the Dow futures being green, but everything else is red. European markets are all green. Looks like the exact opposite of us. With the market just opened. I just heard the bells. And Asia is a 50-50. China stocks tumbled. That's 5-year low after a week of manufacturing data. Australia shares hit an all-time high. European stocks are slightly higher as markets await the Fed decision. H&M down 13%. Let's go see where we opened up. We opened up with a gap down this morning. Our open was 48.99. I want to make sure I go and show us what Adam had to say this morning, but 48.99 is what is there. Wednesday, we've got non-farm employment change, employment costs. These are both red, right? They thought it was going to be, the forecast was 148,000, ended up being 107,000 at 8:15. Unemployment cost index was supposed to be 1%. It's actually 0.9%. Both of these are red. Chicago PMI is always an orange folder at 945. Crude oil inventories, 1030, that's coming out, which is probably an orange folder as well. And then at 2 o'clock, we've got the Fed is going to be doing their thing. The Fed's going to be making their conversation, and then the press conference is at 2:30. Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. Okay, I'm going to take this off so y'all can look at my face. FOMC days are very high volatility. Very high. And initially after the announcement, you'll see it going like it's going to do something. If you don't have a strategy in place to trade in that window of time, then wait. And then pick up after you see a direction. Now, if you do straddles, which our community has done straddles on these sometimes. If you're doing straddles, which is basically where you buy a call and you buy a put at the same time, and you have a price target, a profit target, then that's something you may want to do. Otherwise, if you're selling options, you want to sell, lock in if you can get a PDT hack on, you need to lock in something or open it and close it before 2 o'clock. Do not be in the way of the train at 2 o'clock. That's not wisdom. That's not wisdom. Don't get in front of the train. Okay. So wait until after when you see a direction, hop on, because volatility is high. If you're a seller, your premiums will still be high. Okay. If you're a seller, your premiums will still be high because the volatility's up. If you're a buyer, they're going to be high too. Right. So, careful. Be careful on FOMC days. It's probably the most volatile days. Yeah, we don't want none of that. All righty. We don't want none of that. That was my, coach language talking. Y'all don't get in the way of buses. We smarter than this. We don't stand in the way of buses in real life. So we don't stand in the way of buses in our stock life. Right? We don't do it. We don't do it. We don't do it. Okay. Let's go see what Adam had to say. We know we had earnings last night. We had AMD, Microsoft, Alphabet. I didn't look at Microsoft. We'll look at all those. Starbucks was all last night, right? This morning, though, we had Boeing. This is a bank or something. MasterCard, Phillips 66, Roker, Thermo Fisher, UMC, NASDAQ, Boston Scientific, and Teva. After market today, we got Qualcomm in the tech space. Align, Aflac, Wolfspeed, MetLife, Meritage, Homes, Avalon Bay. Okay, that's all. And then tomorrow morning, we got Honeywell, Peloton is over here. I'm looking, nothing really jumps out at me. Merck. Okay, that's the earnings. Adam had to say, yesterday we spent all day in SPX ping-ponging between 49.17 and 49.29. Guess it would have been a good day for iron condors. Before after hours earnings finally caused a support loss and a dip. 49.02 was the support. It was hit overnight. The plan today, 4900 is support, which I don't know if we're bumped above that yet, but we were below 4900 as they open. Keeps 49.11, 49.17, and 19 in play next. Must reclaim in order to rally. If 4900 fails, well, then we dip to 48.87. All right. If you're trading XSP, hey, Patrick, I missed all my hellos. I think I got everybody. Facebook user, you got to tell me who you are. I can't say hey, but I don't know the name. Good morning, Adrian. If you're trading XSP, you got 492 on the call side and 488 on the put side. Okay. Trade wisely. Watching is a strategy. Watching. And then what you can do, you can be watching today to see how FOMC does and then gather data for subsequent FOMC times. We did a big back test in our community looking at how FOMC data, that's how we ended up looking at that straddles might be something that's good to do because we saw that there is enough of a jump one way and the other way and you can potentially get money off of a straddle. But even in getting money off the straddle, you need to have a profit target. Okay, you need to have a target if you're going to do straddles. Alrighty, Let's see, what did we have next? I updated our this is the right thing now. The last couple of days I had to keep going. I had to go and find it because it still had Amazon and AMD and stuff on it. But now that we've got some, I may go and look at AMD. I didn't trade anything yesterday. I didn't trade nothing yesterday. We have a storage container, a big old like sea container, and it's at my dad's property. And my dad moved. Well, my dad wasn't living there. He owned the property and he sold it. So we had to move our container off of the property because he sold it to somebody else. And we had to empty it out first and then sell it. Well, empty it partially and then put it up for sale. Well, the sale part went really fast. We thought that we'd have support time this week. Next thing we know, I put it up for sale one day and the person bought it the same day, like literally came over immediately and gave the cash. It was like, I want it basically tomorrow. Then it was, I can get it on Wednesday. So yesterday was spent getting all the mind and everything ready to go and unload the sea container and take everything home to our house, which we had room for all the stuff at our house. We just didn't want to load it all in the garage, and we didn't have to because we had a container. So now we'll have to make some adjustments. But that's why. So I didn't spend any time trading yesterday because, and I'm saying all that to say, I was distracted doing something else yesterday. And when you're not focused on trading, you should not trade. Right? When you're not focused on trading, you shouldn't trade because we're not trying to just throw money away, and trading requires some bit of focus. So I didn't enter any trades yesterday, and I was waiting for the earnings to happen. And we got Wednesday. I knew we were having FOMC day today, so we'll see. We shall see. Okay, but here's some opportunities for this week potentially. Again, keep your eye on FOMC to um, make sure that you're ready. This is interesting stuff. What, me talking about my my sea container? That's interesting. I guess we could say that would be interesting. Let's go back to look at the charts. Come on, come on, come on. Here we go. Bring the screen back up. There we go. Okay, so we got SPX, our first candle. I can move this down to the 5 minutes so we can see. We're actually 8 minutes in. We dipped this morning, opened up, and now we're climbing again. Okay, so let's see. AMD, we just looked at. It hit a spot and closed. Let's see if we can see what we can do. It's a little quick charting on AMD. Then we'll look at Microsoft and Google. Okay. If we're looking for supports and resistance on the daily chart, then we've now got a gap we need to consider, right? We now have a gap to work with. Okay. Click and click. There we go. This is okay, seller's gap. We've got a couple of more up here above this, but now we're below it. But this is no, that's not. I was going to say that was the 200 period moving average, but the 200 period moving average is down here. It's coming back into, I want to say this is the 20. Let me make sure I know what's is what. Yeah, the orange is 20. So if you follow some of the stock charter technical analysis folks, they will tell you that stocks like to come back to the 20 and then they use the 20 for support and resistance. In this case, it would be support and it may bounce back off. It might ride on it, but it may bounce off of it. But staying near the 20 period moving average is something that stocks like to do. And AMD is coming in towards the 20. So keep that in mind. If I'm looking for some support, there's a gap below us here. Oh my goodness, can you? What are you doing? I click it and then I'm putting a line there. Yes. Okay. So that's probably going to be some support. That's the bottom of this buyer's gap. And that number is 160.52 is probably going to be support. We're currently at 163 and some change. That may provide some support. If you're looking for another support, it's probably going to be down here Let's change that to a solid line. Down here would be 146.57, but there's also a gap just above it. So this really could be brought up to there. 149.81 is really where I would see some support on AMD if you're feeling like it's going to come, if it could potentially keep going down. But right now it's in the middle of two zones. Okay, let's look at Google. Google also had a dip down. These gap candles are no longer, those are no longer gaps on the Google chart. Okay, but we had a gap down for earnings with them too. Is there a reason why you aren't clicking? There we go. Wa la la. What is going on? Okay. Again, another seller's gap from gapping down for earnings. That means we've got some room in here, and stocks like to fill their gaps. So, keep that in mind. Stocks like to fill their gaps. Seller's gap is here. That's Alphabet. Support, you notice how it hit this support here? This support came back from January 17th. This support is, and it came right to this should hit this and go on back to where it was going. If not, you got another support down in the 137 area. Maybe a little bit lower, maybe down to 135. Okay, that support is where we currently are, 141. There's another one at 135. I don't see anything in the middle. There might be something right in here. Let me see if I change it to the line if I see something. Yep, right there. I thought so. Boop, right there. Boop, make this solid. That's at 138.77. Anytime you're looking at the candles and you can't see a good clear support and resistance, change it to a line chart, and then you can see the peaks and the valleys. Okay, that'll help you. That'll help you out. That's Google. Microsoft. Did Microsoft not have any? It opened at the same place it closed for. No, nothing happened for earnings. It doesn't look like it, does it? Just stayed the same. Okay, well, let's say this would be resistance then at the 412. I did hear some scuttlebutt about Nvidia potentially splitting. Has anybody heard that? Anybody heard that information that Nvidia may potentially split? That would be kind of good. It'll let some more people in on it. Let some more people in on Nvidia who want to be along for the ride. Supports on Microsoft I see are 403 and 396. That's where I see some supports. There's some gaps in the middle here, so that those may provide some support as well. Okay. Resistance is here, but Microsoft is on an upward trend, so you gotta, we don't ignore the trend, and don't try to time a trend reversal per se. Scuttlebutt, is this the medieval times of us all of a sudden? Anyway, that's resistance. The people with the jokes are in the comments. The jokesters. But it would be good. I think that would be good scuttlebutt to hear. That Nvidia splitting. Okay, that's Microsoft. What else did we need? I wanted to see what was SoFi doing. I'll jump back to SPX in a second. What was SoFi? Where are they holding steady? Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. SoFi was over $9 yesterday. It don't fell off again. It just jump right past this support, and it's on the other side. Maybe it'll go back through it. Maybe it'll go back through it. The buyer's gap. Seller's gap was down here. Buyer's gap is here, which really needs to now be closed up because it's not the same. Okay, that's who enters any trades yesterday. Did anybody enter trades yesterday? Grace said, Lynn says, yesterday when I tried to use a PDT hack, I got a message regarding illegal shares. Thinkorswim, have you ever gotten that message before? And if so, what does that mean? Okay. First of all, I hope you're using the PDT hack on SPX and XSP. The PDT hack is not to be used on shares based trades. Okay. PDT hack only on cash settled equities. And I'm slowing down so I can make sure I don't say it too fast. But you want to put that on PDT hack on XSP, SPX, RUT. I think DJIX, but definitely something that's only cash settled, right? All right. You were using SPX. SPX doesn't have shares, so that's weird that you got something that talked about illegal shares. That's weird. Lynn, you have to tell me a little bit more about what you did because SPX doesn't have shares. So I'm surprised that it said something about illegal shares. But if you do the PDT hack is, a call credit spread at the same strikes, put credit spread at the strikes. Exact same strikes on both sides. I'm not sure if you flipped, but that wouldn't even give you that wouldn't give you that error either. Mm-mm. So talk to me more. Maybe find me on Telegram or somewhere so that way I can talk a little more specifically. If you're using, well, you got the PDT hack, you should also be able to get into the SPX playbook Telegram group because everybody who's using that strategy is able to get into my Telegram group for the SPX playbook people. Okay. If you aren't sure about that, you can send me an email or find me on Telegram, like I said. Trades yesterday. Who entered trades? Anybody? Did anybody enter trades yesterday? Y'all see my Snoopy sweatshirt? Anybody enter trades yesterday? Nobody entered any trades. Okay. Mara and Datadog. I'm going to share my screen again. I really want Riot or whichever one of them to get. I think it's Riot is the one that I'm content. I have some shares and hopefully the shares have come on up and they're looking better. Let's see what my Riot shares. Oh, it's at $11. So I'm coming back. I bought them at 13 and now they're at 11. Okay, daily support. Mara's coming on up out of its spot too. So let's see. It came up to this gap and bumped it and went on back. Maybe it'll try to go through there again. Looks like the price action has gone through the gap, but a solid candle, the solid body of the candle has not gone through it at this point. But Mara's trying to rise on up. PCS on Mara 17.5. I can go with that. Jamie said, I think illegal shares comes up when the ticker doesn't have shares like the cash settle tickers you listed. Yeah, I thought that was the case too, Jamie. Maybe you thought you were on SPX and maybe you were on SPY. Mm-hmm. CCS on SPX. Yep, SPX 0DTE. Come on, get it. Come on, get it. Jamie, thank you. Okay, cool. You could definitely reach out though, Lennon, if we need to clarify some other stuff. This is Datadog. Let's see what Datadog has for. Did you do a PCS on Datadog too, Tanya? Looks like a PCS or a CCS. Actually, you could have done either one. It's kind of in the middle right now. We need to go get it. I guess football's almost over, so we need to go get in on some of these gambling apps. Now you don't have to. It's not illegal to gamble. Okay, just gamble from home. Don't even got to leave your phone. Spend up your money. This is a seller's gap. But it's trying to do some stuff this morning because it gapped down right to the 20 and then came on up. Tanya said, I love DraftKings. It went up and then came down. What's the name? Used to talk about DraftKings all the time. Chris Sane. Is it Chris Sane? Yeah, that's his name. He used to always talk about DraftKings. Now I think he focuses in on Tesla and SPY more. But I used to watch it when I first started trading. I used to watch his videos every single day because I didn't know nothing about what I knew. Nothing. And we was doing, I didn't know nothing about a strategy. I didn't know what I was doing. But as I learned more, I decided I need to find another place to watch. Not that the information wasn't good. It just didn't suit my trading style. It didn't suit me. There's a buyer's gap here from January 17th on DraftKings, and it's been going up ever since. It looks like it hit a resistance up here yesterday, looks like it, and pull back. This may be just a pullback though for a little, retracement and not necessarily a reversal. That candle doesn't give reversal vibes. It just looks like it may be turning for a pullback. ENPH 113, 114. Let's see what we got there. Need to get this bigger. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. You did a call. Okay, I was looking at them numbers are a little high. Call credit spread. So we can actually bring this resistance down to. Okay, let's see. 113, 114. It's like we got a call credit spread going. Not sure what that is, but we have I could have moved it to here because it's there. Let's move this to dash line and make it black, and it needs to be solid. Yeah, solid. 109 is what I see as resistance at this point. Oop, nope, not you. You. Oop, that's what I want. And the gaps have all been filled, so we don't need that anymore. ENPH, I could see anything above 109, 110 should be okay. Looks like it at this point. And remember, none of this stuff is investment advice. I'm here to help. I'm here to help. I like entering credit spreads on Wednesdays though, because you still only got 2 days left. Got 2 days left in the market, but I want you to wait to see what's happened on FOMC today, unless you're sure whatever you're trading don't have nothing to do with FOMC. Okay. Otherwise, wait till after that's over. I used the PDT app before and it worked just fine. Thanks, Arlette. I'm joining your paid group tomorrow. Wonderful. Thanks for all you do. I appreciate you. I appreciate you too, Lynn. Thank you. Listen, tomorrow, this weekend, we're getting together because we are doing the small account challenge starting next week. Small account challenge starts next week. Psh. Yes, we're growing our money, small, medium, large account using credit spreads. The group is created. If you are already in the small account challenge, be sure to join the Telegram group because that's where I'm putting resources and stuff to get you prepped and ready. You don't want to miss the resources. You don't want to miss those to get ready for the small account challenge. Okay. If you haven't joined the small account challenge yet, what you waiting for? We got what you waiting for. Okay. What you waiting for? Come on. Educator to trader.com. You can go there and join the small account challenge. It's the first icon on my website. You can join us, get in on the Telegram group. I think what we're going to do this weekend is I'm going to finish teaching Chart Your Way to 100K on Saturday. I'm excited about that. We're going to wrap it up, wrap it up on Saturday. We're going to talk about how do we do technical analysis for different strategies. That's what we're doing this coming Saturday. And then I believe on Sunday, I go live on YouTube at 5, but I want to have a session with the people who are in the small account challenge. So we'll do that after. It's no football this weekend unless you're watching the Pro Bowl, I think. Yeah, if you're watching the Pro Bowl. But if you're in that, we'll do that Sunday after I get off of live on YouTube. We'll do that, and then the way we'll be on Zoom, you'll be able to ask questions. We'll be able to clarify all the stuff, and we'll go from there. Remember, in my challenges, if you've ever done a challenge with me, we don't challenge each other. We challenge ourselves. We keep track of our stuff. We're here. We got some support. I do challenge it a little bit different. Many people look for challenges where, are we having videos? Are we having calls every day? No, I don't do calls every day, but I do them periodically. And sometimes it's just like, okay, let's do a call. I'll see y'all at 7. I mean, it's kind of, but it's not an everyday. Many challenges, but this challenge goes a month, which is why we're not meeting. We're not getting on there every day. But I am here in the morning every day. So this is where I will talk about stuff like that because I'm here. I'll talk about it, and this will be a place where we will meet and talk. Will be your daily call. We'll be right here in the morning. Be right here in the morning. Okay. Look for an email from me if you have joined already. And if you haven't, come on so that you don't miss nothing. We don't want nobody to miss out. All right. Focus. We are going left. 1 or 2 strategies. Credit spreads is one that we're leaning in on. And I think next month we're going to go back and go through the boot camp for people who are new to options, and we can bring them up and along. We want to educate ourselves, focus on fundamentals, and we're going to trade with a trading plan. We're trading with a plan. Okay. Let's go see what SPX and those guys are doing. Let's go see what's happening. Anybody trade any XLs this week? Some people. Jamie, did you do any XL trades this week? I think our 15-minute candle has passed, and it has. This was almost the same one from a couple days ago. XLU, I see Tanya did. I did XLC. I don't think I did XLB. I feel like, I did BNC. I'll look at them here in a minute and see if one of them is ready to close. It was a couple days ago. I haven't even looked at to see what the status. That's why you shouldn't trade while you're distracted, because I didn't even open up the box to see. Okay, so breakout strategy. Those who are in my community and you follow the breakout strategy, or you're using the SPX for daily and weekly profits, it has broken out of the first 15-minute candle. It has broken out going down. Now, we don't enter this early. We give it another 15 minutes or so to confirm, because now it's 10 o'clock and it's 10 o'clock turnaround. So if you decide you're going to trade SPX, again, I'm going to repeat, be sure to lock in your profit or whatever you're going to do before 2 o'clock. Do not leave this trade wide open at 2 o'clock. So if you're going to get in, either get your money and close it back up, or put on your PDT hack and lock in whatever profits are lost. Don't just leave it to hold to the end of the day. Okay. No new trades live. Okay. Gotcha. We're going to look at XLU here in a second. I was getting ready to say something else, but I lost the thought. I was going to look. Let's look at XLU first. Then we'll come back. This is XLU. Spider sectors. What's the U stand for? What's XLU? Utilities? It's XLU utilities. Looks like they've got an upward trend going. Right there was a XLU. Yep, utilities. Okay. Looks like did you do a call credit spread or put credit spread? There's a pause down in here. Barely. Yeah, today it opened high and it's coming down. It's coming probably back to fill this gap because there was a little bit of gap left here. It may be coming to fill that gap. I'm going to call it a buyer's gap, even though it's a buyer's and seller's gap, because it was a seller's gap before. We got to do some research on what happens when gaps overlap. That's where we are with that. Let's go see if we can close off some of this. Close off what this XLB is doing. Okay, looks like I took in $10. Call credit spread needs to stay below 83.5, and at this point it's at 83.2. That's XLB. So it is, I took in $10. It is currently worth 20. This is how you work the money. This is how you look at the money, not work the money. This is how you look at the money. Everybody tune in. If you're not watching, if you're not too closely looking, look on. When you're working with credit spreads, the money that you received is trade price. Trade price is the money that you received. All right. The current worth of the trade is the mark. So the difference between these two is 20. That's what it's currently worth. The difference between these two, the difference, so you can subtract them. I took in $10. 20 minus 10 is 10. It's currently worth 40 minus 20, which is 20. So I took in $10, but I took in 10, it's currently worth 20. At this point, the trade would be red. See here, it shows a negative. The $11 is the loss. Basically, it's in parentheses. So I'm down $10 or $11 at this point. Okay. Now I haven't gotten to expiration, but it's currently at 83.225, and my call credit spread strike is 83.5. So it's close. Alrighty. That's how you look at the money. Let's look at it on XLC. Why are you not clicking? There we go. Okay, XLC. I have a 79.80 call credit spread. The difference between these two is what, $25? Yeah, 53 minus 28, I believe is 25. So I received $25 on this trade. It is now worth 10, which means it is getting ready for me to close. Notice it's at plus 58% is my profit and loss is plus 58%. I usually close at when it's over 70%. That means I got a little bit more time to wait, but I will select. Let me show you what I did. I selected this one, click click the other one, right click, and then it says create a closing order. Create the closing order. It says it's now worth $10. Right? It's now worth $10. Well, I'll probably close it, 70% of $25 is about 20. That's 80%. Right? So I would select that, and I'm going to close it when it's at $5. I'm going to close it at $5. And I'm going to put this as a good till cancel. That way it'll stay as a working order until it gets to $5, and then it's going to close. Okay. PCS on XLU. XLY is what I'm looking at, call credit spread. Okay, let's go see what XLY got going. XLY. Let's see resistance here. Are you waiting for an entry, something to trigger, Jamie, or are you just looking at it at this point? I'm just looking. Okay, I do see that it's definitely trending down. See if we can grab us a trend line. If we started here and we showed it to here, definitely got a little bit of a trend line going down. I'm going down. Alrighty, let's see. What would be some good strike prices, though? If we're looking at the trade, let's go to single. Looking on the call credit spread side, at least 70% out of the money. 70% probability, 176, 177 would be, so 176 is the probability OTM of 75. So 176, 177 is paying $22. I like that myself. Let's see, 176. Was that a good plus or minus number? 3.5. If we add 3.5, that puts us at 176.5, right? About halfway. And on our chart, 176 is beyond two resistances. Okay. No reason to waste time. Okay. What else do we have? Let's go see what SPX is doing before we start to wrap up. I'm clicking faster than the computer is keeping up because now it's trying to keep up with two sets of platforms. It's trying to keep up with TradingView's chart and Thinkorswim's chart. So it's, and don't anybody tell Jamie, but I haven't turned my computer off in about 3 days. So, it's doing what it's doing. I actually need to buy like a work computer, like work where I'm working, business work, and I need a computer that will handle like all of my data and all of the videos and stuff that I create. I really need to. If y'all know anybody who's got, let me look over here. If y'all know anybody who can get your sister a nice deal on a Mac computer, I think I'm ready to go with the Mac for my recording needs. Y'all let me know. Let me know. Okay. We are out of the zone for resistance, support. We're out of the breakout zone, but this candle here is looking kind of wonky. I want this one to do a little more because this doesn't in itself confirm. But if it continues in this manner, you may be able to do call credit spread and then go on from there. Not offering any investment advice, just saying use your strategies that you would normally use to get where you're going. Okay, use what you would normally use to get where you're going. I put a video out yesterday. It was a short, but in the short, I talked about what is the money or the collateral required for trading credit spreads. That was yesterday on my YouTube channel. So you can check that out. And I also have one the other day I recorded about doing credit spreads on Robinhood. If you haven't seen that, that's actually been put into the small account challenge. It's actually been put in there, but make sure that you watch that because many of us in the small account challenge are going to use Robinhood. If you haven't already hooked up with TD Ameritrade is no more, but if you haven't already hooked up with Schwab and you don't already have an account with them, to get an account with them, it's going to take you several $1,000s to open it. So you might as well leave that. I mean, I'm not saying you don't have the $5,000 or so dollars, but if you're meeting us for a small account challenge, I would presume you probably don't have that you want to put into a Schwab account, but you can go into Robinhood and make sure that you could get and do credit spreads there. I need to do another video on the levels, the options levels. So because you have to have a certain level of options in order to do credit spreads in Robinhood. Well, all of them have to have a level. Okay. Small account challenge. Educator to Trader membership is here in the middle, and this is the spreads for daily and weekly profits. If you're somebody who wants to make money every day using SPX and XSP, you need this resource. All right, because it includes all the pieces, the timings of entries, how do you enter, how do you exit. You can do it for the week, you can use XSP, but this is all in one training. This right here was a heavy weighted training day. Okay, we pulled out all the stops, made it super clear. We got all kind of data in this training. So make sure that you go ahead and grab hold to that. Okay. Alrighty, I'm going to stop sharing this. And I believe we are ready for our wrap up. Anybody not ready to wrap up? You got something you need to discuss before we check to see if all hearts and minds are clear? Anybody? Okay. If you got something, go ahead and type it. Our trader's declaration. I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I'm a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My account is growing more and more each week. I am a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I'm a level-headed trader who does not trade my emotions. Our prayer is, Lord, it is you who gives us the power to get well. You teach our hands to war with the purpose of establishing your kingdom. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically in order to fulfill this purpose. Give us more than enough so we can have what we need and enough to be a blessing to others. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, amen. Okay. Okay, I want to remind you once again to just be careful in the market today. FOMC is a day we don't fool up with Jerome Rome. Okay, we have strategies and we use wisdom. And if you want to use them, that's fine, because you make sure that you are taking that into account, that at 2 o'clock today there will be some motion in the ocean. All right. Okay. Let's do our two things. Whoop, pop, 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 pop. Today every day we do two things. We stay green and we get this money. All right. I want you all to have a good green day. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All right. I will see you in the market. Bye, everyone.